The Galactic Council's ultimatum arrived on a Tuesday morning, transmitted across 47 light years, with all the bureaucratic precision the universe had come to expect from the Zephyrian Empire. Ambassador Chen Wei read the holographic text 3 times before the words truly sank in. "Evacuation notice," she muttered, her coffee growing cold as she stared at the floating symbols. "They're giving us 30 Earth days to vacate our home world." The reasoning was as predictable as it was infuriating. Humanity had been classified as a galactic hazard following what the Council termed aggressive expansion tendencies. In the mere 2 centuries since achieving faster-than-light travel, humans had established colonies on 237 worlds, built trade networks that spanned 3 galactic arms, and somehow managed to broker peace between 6 warring species who had been fighting for millennia. The Zephyrians, who had held galactic dominance for over 10,000 years, found this rapid expansion concerning. Chen walked to her office window overlooking New Geneva's skyline. Below, hovered traffic moved in orderly streams between buildings that stretched toward the clouds. In the harbor, cargo ships prepared for interstellar journeys, their holds filled with Earth's cultural exports, coffee, chocolate, jazz music, and literature that had captivated civilizations across the galaxy. The irony wasn't lost on her. They wanted Earth gone because humanity was becoming too influential, too connected, too human. 3 hours later, Chen stood before the United Earth Assembly, the Council's ultimatum displayed on screens around the chamber. The representatives' faces ranged from outraged to calculating to oddly serene. "They believe removing our homeworld will somehow diminish human influence," President Martinez said, her voice steady despite the magnitude of the moment. "They fail to understand something fundamental about our species." Representative Kumar from the Luna colony leaned forward. "Which is? Home isn't a place for humans," Chen interjected, remembering her grandmother's stories about leaving war-torn Bangladesh for a new life in Canada. "It's wherever we choose to build it." The vote was unanimous. Within hours, the Great Diaspora began. Not the panicked evacuation the Zephyrians expected, but something far more organized and infinitely more devastating to their plans. Earth's 12 billion inhabitants didn't just leave, they dispersed across the galaxy like seeds on a cosmic wind. Dr. Sarah Okafor, leading the mission to establish New Lagos in the Centauri sector, watched Earth shrink to a blue dot through her ship's viewport. Around her, 10,000 colonists prepared for their new life on a world where the ocean sang in harmonics that would inspire Earth's musicians for generations. "Recording final log from Earth vessel Ubuntu," she spoke into her comm device. "The Zephyrians think they're scattering us to diminish our power. They don't understand that humans have always been at our strongest when we spread out, adapt, and grow." On the colony ship Resilience, Captain Jackson reviewed settlement plans for the Kepler 442 system. His passengers included engineers, artists, farmers, and philosophers, a microcosm of human civilization ready to bloom on alien soil. Each ship carried not just people, but the entire cultural DNA of humanity. Languages, recipes, songs, stories, and the inexplicable human ability to make friends with anything that could hold a conversation. The Zephyrians watched in growing alarm as their plan backfired spectacularly. Instead of weakening humanity's influence, the Great Diaspora amplified it 1,000-fold. Human colonies didn't just survive, they thrived, and more importantly, they connected. Captain Liu Wei, establishing New Shanghai in the Outer Rim, received a transmission from New Stockholm, 14 light-years away. Trade negotiations with the Crystalline Collective are proceeding, the message reported. They're particularly interested in our fusion cuisine. Who knew that Swedish-Chinese crystalline cooking would work so well? 6 months after the ultimatum, Ambassador Chen stood in the command center of Harmony Station, a massive space habitat that had become the de facto capital of the human diaspora. Around her, holographic displays showed the locations of 3,000 human settlements spread across the galaxy. The Zephyrian delegation that arrived was notably smaller and more subdued than their previous diplomatic missions. Ambassador Chen, the lead Zephyrian, Commander Zelthak, began formally. The Galactic Council requests negotiations. Chen smiled, the expression that had made her legendary in diplomatic circles. Of course, Commander. We humans are always willing to talk. The Council has reconsidered its position regarding human expansion, Zelthak continued, his translator struggling with what seemed to be embarrassment. Perhaps a more collaborative approach would be beneficial. Through the station's observation deck, Chen could see cargo ships arriving from dozens of worlds, Andromedan crystals that sang in harmony with Earth music, vegan fabrics that changed color with the wearer's mood, and Centauri spices that had revolutionized galactic cuisine. Each ship carried not just goods, but stories, friendships, and the countless small connections that made the galaxy a smaller, more intimate place. You see, Commander, Chen said, gesturing toward the bustling traffic. You wanted Earth gone because you thought it was the source of our influence. But Earth was never what made us strong. She turned to face the Zephyrian delegation fully. What makes humans dangerous, what you've always feared, isn't our home world. It's that we can make a home anywhere, with anyone. You scattered us across the galaxy thinking it would weaken us. Instead, you gave us a galaxy full of new neighbors to befriend. The final irony came a year later, when the Zephyrian homeworld of Zelthara applied to join the expanding human cultural exchange network. Their youth had become fascinated with human art, music, and the radical concept of making friends with members of other species. Standing on the observation deck of New Harmony, a station orbiting the remains of the original Harmony Station, now expanded into a small city in space, Chen received a message from Earth. The planet had been converted into a massive park and museum, tended by volunteers from 100 species who came to understand the origins of the strange, irrepressible creatures who had somehow convinced the galaxy to sing in harmony. The message was simple. Welcome home, wherever you are. Chen smiled and composed her reply to be broadcast to every human settlement across the galaxy. We're home, all of us, everywhere. The Zephyrians had wanted Earth gone. Instead, humanity had made the entire galaxy into Earth.